Alright, this hot rod shoulder, it's a little different, folks. I'm not hanging out in the boat, I'm underneath the van. And the reason is, about a month ago, I had somebody put a hole right here in my gas tank. So I fixed this with quick steel, because you go on the internet and everybody's using JB Weld or quick steel on a plastic gas tank. So I tried quick steel and it worked for about a month. The only difference is August 28th, when I went fishing at Millerton, and when I came out of the water, I didn't notice anything, didn't smell anything. But when I drove my boat home and went to park the boat, I started to smell gas. And when I looked underneath, this was leaking. So, and I touched it and it felt it was hard. But what I noticed is when I went to remove the quick steel, I could pull it off with my fingernail. So it was no longer sticking to this type of material. And what people have to understand is, on YouTube, they're going to say, oh, plastic gas tank. There are different types of plastic. And this here goes back to about 2007. So there's different types of plastic. So what I did was I looked on the internet again, and a guy used the JB Weld. What I did differently also was I put a screw in here first with the JB Weld around this material. It appears to be sticking pretty good. I mean, adhering to this type of material. So with the screw, maybe that should help. And this JB Weld material, you can't, it's sticking real well. After this dries, and it should be dry pretty soon because I did this yesterday, it should be dry. I'm going to apply the JB water weld on the outside of this. So I'm going to try this technique. But what everyone has to understand is that according to JB Weld, they do not have a material, a JB Weld for plastic gas tanks. And that's what I received from them in an email. So according to JB Weld, if we're making this technique work, it's something that would be miraculous. Or it's, you know, I mean, we're doing something that they're not even really aware of, because they said they do not have a JB Weld for plastic gas tanks. Okay, folks, I'm going to apply this water weld now and see how it works. Okay, I applied the JB Weld. This would be for like water. It even says you can use on fiberglass, boats, and whatever else. I applied this over the bolt that had the regular JB Weld to help resist the gasoline. I'm applying this on the outer to resist the water when I launch the boat. Other than that, I would have just probably went with the regular JB Weld in the boat. But since I launched the boat, I put this on, and we'll see how this sticks to this type of plastic gas tank. So it's still a little soft. It's a little weird stuff, but it's okay. Alright, hot rod shoulder. Okay, folks, this is the material that I had on there at first, and this is the quick steel material, and the outer is very hard. But when I feel on the inside, it feels as if it did not adhere to the plastic very well. So I don't know if this little nipple is what was holding everything on. It did not leak until I went fishing, and maybe the water is what softened this material or caused it to come loose. But it did work until I got it wet. I had to back the boat down into the water. Okay, this is the email that I had received from Chris at JB Weld, and this is JB Weld Company, World's Strongest Bond. And what they're saying, Chris Fox is saying, we do not have an item for plastic gas tanks. Others have repaired these by using an electric plastic welding kit. So the company themselves is stating they do not have a way of repairing plastic gas tanks. If we're doing something on YouTube that is working, that is, like I said, that's remarkable. That would have to be to the company, because we're attempting to do something that the company is even stating they cannot. All right, this is Hot Rod Shoulders, folks.